when I told you that this entire Epstein story wasn't going to go away? I do. Well, yesterday, House Democrats dropped emails directly referencing Donald Trump. And within hours of that, Trump spokeswoman Karoline Leavitt was at the podium spinning harder than a DJ at a Republican fundraiser. But here's the thing, of course. When you actually break down what she said during this presser versus what the documents actually show, that White House response, and I'm going to show you that here, reveals a lot more than it conceals. Okay? And I'm going to give you a detail here that makes this even more disgusting. So I want to set up this properly. Okay? Yesterday, November 12th, the government funding bill had passed, which officially ends the shutdown, right? Of course, it's going to take some time for everything to fully reopen and for the government to resume normal operations, okay? And wouldn't you know it, literally hours after that passed, House Democrats released these Epstein email references to Donald Trump. Of course, the immediate response from Karoline Leavitt, oh, it's fake news.
And it is not a coincidence that the Democrats leaked these emails to the fake news this morning ahead of Republicans reopening the government.
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And this email you refer to with the name of a victim that was unredacted now and has since been reported on in this room, so I will go ahead and say it, Virginia Giuffre. And it was CBS's own reporting, Ouija, that recently wrote that Miss Giuffre maintained, and God rest her soul, that she maintained that there was nothing inappropriate she ever witnessed, that President Trump was always extremely professional and friendly to her. And so I think it's a question worth asking the Democrat Party, and you should all go ask them after this briefing, of why they chose to redact that name of a victim who has already publicly made statements about her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and is unfortunately no longer with us.
Okay, so her exact words were, oh yeah, Democrats are selectively leaking emails to the liberal media in order to create a fake narrative. That is absolutely classic projection. Okay, but let me get to the part where it gets really dark and cynical. And you heard it there, right? So she claimed the documents, of course, prove absolutely nothing other than Trump did nothing wrong, and then dismissed it all as a distraction campaign amid the government shutdown. But of course, when she said that she had a point about the timing, right? The funding bill passed yesterday, and these documents dropped the same day. But here's the kicker. If this was such a spontaneous distraction campaign, why was Karoline Leavitt, why was Trump so immediately prepared with these polished talking points? I mean, the government shutdown ends, documents drop, right? And then you got the perfect spin machine response happening within hours. Either they are the most responsive White House in the history of the White House, or they all saw this coming. But of course, here's where it gets even worse, okay? The White House response leaned heavily on Virginia Giuffre, okay? Saying that she repeatedly said that Trump was not involved in any wrongdoing whatsoever. But let me put this in perspective, right? So Virginia Giuffre took her own life in April of 2025 at the age of 41. It's after losing custody of her kids and suffering years of trauma that started when she was 16. She was trafficked at Mar-a-Lago. Now, the White House is now using her final statements as nothing more than a shield, knowing that she's not able to defend herself or clarify what she meant under oath versus what she said to protect herself from powerful people who could destroy her life even further. The timing here is pretty suspicious, right? Yes, the funding bill passed yesterday, and the government operations are now in process of resuming. But the speed of their response and the fact that they immediately weaponized Giuffre's final statements tells you they were prepared for this. They were ready. If this was truly a surprise distraction campaign, then they wouldn't have been able to have such polished talking points ready to deploy within hours. The fact that they're using a dead trauma survivor's words as a shield while she cannot respond I mean, it tells you everything about their moral compass, regardless, of course, of the timing. So, and what does that timing really tell us? Even if we accept the funding bill passing and the documents dropping the same day, it's a coincidence, right? Well, the immediate deployment of these pre-polished spin comments and the weaponization of a dead survivor's statements is not a coincidence. It is preparation. If Trump is completely innocent of everything, then they wouldn't need to immediately pivot to attack mode or use Guthrie statements or voiceless words as a shield. They would just say, well, here are the facts. Here are the facts. Well, see for yourself. Instead, they're doing essentially what authoritarians do, okay, when they're cornered. Go after the source, dismiss the evidence. And of course, they would know about dismissing the evidence.
Just forget about the evidence.
Of course. Manipulate the dead and hope that people do not scrutinize how suspicious and well prepared their response to this was. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.